He is the best hitman in the organization, but his gun is never loaded. Even with the target right in front of him, he aims at a car turning the corner instead. Glass hits the tire and the car spins out of control. Once the target's crushed in the wreck, he packs up his air rifle and walks away. Every trace is gone. Even the FBI would call it an accident. Glass on the road, blown tire, tragic crash. He finishes the job, but his handler tells him to pick up payment in person, which breaks protocol. Boyko shows up for the money, but the second he steps out of his car, things go sideways. A guy on a motorcycle opens fire and tries to gun him down. Boyko barely dodges the bullets and stays alive. Taking down an amateur like this is basically child's play. After kicking him down again, Boyko just looks disgusted and tries to ask who sent him. The guy talks back, so Boyko snaps his arm backward. He calls his handler and learns the client probably set a trap, which makes him furious. The rules stop him from getting the client's name, but he won't let this slide. He stages the scene as a street race gone wrong and leaves without looking back. That night, he gets the worst news. His ex-girlfriend just died. Her friend doesn't like him, but she tells him the truth. His ex was pregnant with his child. Boyko can't stay calm anymore. The news says she died during a robbery. 2 junkies broke in, killed her, and overdosed right after. It is way too convenient. Boyko knows something's off. As a top-tier hitman, he can tell this was staged to look like an accident. He breaks into the crime scene at night and reconstructs what happened. The 2 guys killed her but left without even opening a drawer. He pulls the autopsy report and finds exactly what he expected. Her blood shows traces of a sedative, one typically used for anxiety. But Boyko knows it by another name, truth serum. The killer injected her, interrogated her, then stabbed her to death. A few planted hairs made the junkies perfect scapegoats. Boyko knows who did it, 2 colleagues who always frame dead men. He storms into their gym and confronts them, but they stay calm. To them, it was just another job, nothing personal. He flips the fight with 1 spinning kick and they're done. The first guy begs for mercy and says they just followed orders. If Boyko wants revenge, he needs to find the client who hired them. Boyko keeps digging and realizes this goes way deeper than he thought. He tracks down his ex's best friend to ask if she had enemies. Before Boyko gets a name, the man stops breathing, and the best friend realizes how serious this is. She tells him everything. His ex was investigating an oil company. She copied all the evidence onto a hard drive and hid it at her parents' house. Boyko sends her to get the drive while he goes after his handler. The friend retrieves the drive, and the truth finally comes out. His ex had proof the oil company was drilling illegally, so they had her killed. Now that he knows, Boyko's more determined than ever to get revenge. But he doesn't know that breaking the rules has put the whole organization at risk. And killing Olaf made the boss lose it completely. The boss sends everyone after Boyko and assigns his best female killer to protect the client. Boyko tracks down the oil company's accountant, who tries to run but gets stopped. After some persuasion, the accountant admits the CEO is behind everything. He hired the hitman because he was terrified the evidence would expose his deal with corrupt officials. It turns out the target Boyko killed earlier was the informant who fed evidence to his ex-girlfriend. After that hit, they sent motorcycle assassins to take out Boyko too, but he survived the ambush. Boyko doesn't care about excuses. He grabs the accountant and demands the client's name. The accountant plays him a recording of the client, but then 2 hitmen kick the door in. They open fire immediately, and the accountant takes multiple hits and goes down. Boyko rushes the first gunman and rips the weapon out of his hands. He uses the body as a shield against the second shooter. The second hitman watches his partner die and unloads his machine gun in a wild spray. He empties the clip without landing a single hit, and now it is hand-to-hand. The hitman throws punches, but Boyko grabs a fire extinguisher and cracks him across the head. He hits him again and again until the guy drops dead next to his partner. Boyko finds a box of bandages, patches himself up, and rides to the oil tycoon's private estate. Carter is escorting her boss to the car when Boyko blocks their path, but she is not rattled. She hands her knife to the boss and steps forward to fight Boyko barehanded. Carter is known as the deadliest female killer in the business, and even Boyko struggles against her speed. But the strength gap starts to show. Boyko fakes a knee strike, lands a combo, and kicks her 20 feet back. She gets up and he rolls in with a flying kick that nearly knocks her out. The boss tosses her the blade because he is scared she might actually lose this fight. Carter charges with the knife and Boyko dodges each slash, but she is fast. She cuts his right arm and smirks, thinking she has got him now, but she is wrong. Boyko hits her with an elbow, rips the knife from her grip, and drives it straight through her chest. She drops dead on the spot. The boss is so terrified he wets himself. He offers Boyko $1 billion to let him live. Boyko doesn't even blink. He swings the blade and takes the man's head clean off. His girlfriend and unborn child are finally avenged. Boyko returns to the organization, and Ray knows instantly that all his men are dead. Ray is furious, but Boyko tosses him a recording from the accountant before he died. It is a conversation between the handler and the oil boss. The handler had been taking side jobs behind Ray's back. The ambush on Boyko and the order to kill the accountant both came from the handler, not Ray. Ray loses it and beats the handler half to death with his bare fists. The handler dies in seconds, but then Ray turns his gun on Boyko. His empire is destroyed, and he wants to kill the man who tore it down, but Boyko just stares him down. He knows Ray will talk but won't pull the trigger. He doesn't have it in him. Ray lowers the gun and tells Boyko to leave. He can't bring himself to do it. Boyko walks out knowing their bond is over. He gets on his bike and rides away for good.